Hi, I'm Nancy E., a co-founder of Mettle, and welcome to the latest edition of Mettle Live. And today we're very pleased to welcome Hugh Hou. Many of you may already know Hugh from his... welcome to the latest edition of Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. I just had a bit of a feedback from my phone. So we're welcoming Hugh, and he has the #1 VR filmmaking channel on YouTube. So welcome, Hugh. How's it going?
Hello, everybody. Good. Just hanging out Friday in California. No complaint.
Yeah, so the whole idea behind this live stream is as we're practicing physical distancing, we can show social solidarity within the creative community and see what people are up to, share some tips, and help each other get through with a view to the long horizon. So we're going to start things off by showing the channel trailer for Hugh's popular channel on YouTube to give you an idea, for those of you who are new to what he's doing, exactly the depth of what he does. Hold on tight.
Hello everyone, Hugh here from CreatorUp, the #1 YouTube channel dedicated to 360 virtual reality filmmaking for everyone. I love VR video and have been making immersive 360 or 180 videos for almost 5 years now. Navigating through my career, one thing I found lacking was education. Unlike learning how to vlog or program, there are no reliable resources out there to teach creators how to create immersive content. So I started CreatorUp to help bridge this knowledge gap. As an immersive storyteller and camera technician, I have been very fortunate to work with non-profit organizations like the Special Olympics to create a VR docu-series around the world and to inspire change with immersive technology. 360 video is a great empathy machine and has a definite impact on viewers. I want to give this power to everyone who wants to inspire change in their own communities.
So Hugh, tell us, how did you get into VR filmmaking specifically? Because your background is in, you were trained in communication.
Yeah, so my background is in e-learning, instructional design. So I'm mostly gonna become a teacher for somehow. But yeah, I become a filmmaker instead. So that's strange.
But how did you get involved in VR specifically? Because you don't just do VR, you do 3D 360, which is much more technically involved. You're handling just more complex stitching, larger volumes of data. So tell us about that.
Absolutely. So I have a very technical background. I think when I started VR, I'm like belong to one of those like really early starter, like 7 or 8 years ago. Duct taping GoPros in my garage. There's no Freedom 360 back then. You just like put some GoPro together, duct tape them, and film VR and figure out how to stitch in Auto Panel Pro. Yeah, I start from that age, so I have technical background, how to do with like stitching and other complicated stuff, CG stuff, and then from then on, I just love VR. So I'm just decided to invest all my time and effort in it, and I believe in the industry. I believe in the art form. I think that's the best way to tell story, to really invoke empathy in people, and if like good story. So that's why I invest in VR storytelling specifically, and then yeah.
Okay, so I just
also got to teach people on the channel.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Alexandre. He's he's saying Hugh Hou is a star here. So what do you think of that? Thanks, Alexandre, for that for that comment.
Yeah, he's a star, and I'm not a star. I'm just a guy who's sharing what I know to the internet. And most of the time, it's not me sharing. It's like a communication. So the industry is a communication, right? We have a group together. We hang out together in conference. Not right now. So we hang out together virtually. We learn from each other, and then we share our knowledge. So sometimes it's my word, but sometimes it's maybe Alexandra's word. Maybe somebody else's word, like tell me how to do some kind of stuff, and then we share our knowledge to learn from each other. So nobody's expert. Nobody is star here. It's just we all hang out. We all share our knowledge. We all hope for the best to grow the industry, to like make this medium better for more consumer to watch it. So
I agree. It's a really supportive community where we tend to know each other. You know, you go to an event, you see familiar faces, lots of friends. But tell me more. When you say you're interested in the art of VR storytelling, how do you think the medium is different than traditional flat? Because you must have started off learning traditional filmmaking. How do you apply those skills?
Yes. Yeah, so first thing I want to like make a distinction. So again, there's a lot of people like I just say 360 and VR, mostly 360 around our community. But what I usually mostly do is my stuff shuffle to watch on this thing. It is Oculus Quest or Oculus Go on a VR headset, particularly. I think that that is really distinct. This medium to anything you see on Netflix, on TV, on YouTube. And the immersion is different. So again, I can go all day to talk about like why immersive media is better than flat-linear media. I think one thing that really a turning point for me is when I see my audience. It's not my piece. It's actually by I think by Time magazine. When I see somebody put a VR headset, and after that they put the VR headset off, and you see a tear in their eyes. And you see crying, you see the whole headset is wet. He's just crying during the whole documentary. That really like struck me. Say, wow, I never see a medium like that who make a big guy like that's a male. It's a big dude like cry in a VR headset because it's like they feel like that they are in their safe space in VR headset, so they can really involve the story, connect to the character, and then really let the emotional go. And that is when I realized that VR as a medium is a powerful machine to just involve empathy in people and really try to push the message across. So that's why my switch just turned on and said, wow, if I want to tell a story, better make it good in VR so I can make people cry, laugh, scare, whatnot, you know.
So how did you bring that into your series for the Special Olympics in VR? Because you traveled around the world, and there's many steps to that project. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So that project is more technical than practical. I don't think I make anybody cry because it's a feel-good piece. But the travel part is crazy. I think it's one of the biggest projects I have done. It lasts for 6 months, or actually 8 months, 2 months pre-production. And then build the team together. I mean, a lot of people you know, like Sebastian Hamlet, Dirk Wallace, like a lot of like famous names you guys probably already know is in that project. I'm just one of the guys. I'm the guy bring the project together, and I am also the AC. But that project travel like around 10 countries, 20, 30 cities, follow different athletes, different Olympian, their story, their life story. And then try to capture the story in a week, and then finish the post in the second week and release it. It's a very intense project.
So I think you were telling me earlier that you learned a lot about how to do post-production while you're traveling, kind of under duress. Like I saw a picture posted on Facebook where you're part of a team and you're in a hotel room, and you even had equipment going into the bathroom. Like it was crazy. What kind of equipment were you traveling with?
Yeah, so we travel with a lot of equipment. We basically bring our render farm and our rover with us. So that picture, that video is actually in Tokyo. I find it really interesting. In Tokyo, space limited. We have a limited budget too, like on each city. So we have to stay in a small hotel, but we have a render farm. So thanks to Samsung VR, give us like 3 or 4 next computer. Those like 2 GPUs, crazy server. Like you can chain together to become a render farm, but we have a lot of computer, not enough room to put them. And then we also have a server. We have one of those like it's just right here. What's it called? QNAP, the QNAP TS, whatever name is, server like mobile server, and we have put them together in a tiny hotel room. And so we end up putting the server in the bathroom, so nobody can actually use my bathroom, and then do the work. But that is how we think it is. We build stuff. We also have a rover, the Mantis, the motion impossible Mantis. That thing is huge. So each time we travel to a different city, it costs us $3,000 just to bring that thing into the airplane.
Wow.
So it's a nightmare. But yeah, it was fun to learn a lot.
Okay, so I want to just say hi to a few people. So Matthias is saying, a lot of people know a lot of VR. Few people are good at sharing it. Even fewer are kind enough to use their time to teach it anyway. Hugh has given me a free VR education. Thanks, Matthias. Shout out to Matthias. Nice. And so Sophia is saying that Special Olympics project was absolutely amazing. Beautifully done. So there's a lot of people out there that you're touching with this project. But so how was it working with the athletes on the project, the people, the families?
Yes, that is actually not my specialty. I'm still trying to learn to direct. Dirk Wallace did a really great job to direct. I mean, he had a lot of experience with like all his crazy background of MTV and stuff. I think that is a really challenging part of that project, and I'm not in a position to talk about it because it's not my specialty. I'm not a director, but a lot of research go into it. We spent the first day when we arrived in the new city. We spent the first day to scout. We're gonna meet the family. We're gonna make sure the family is okay for us to go in to film them because it's very personal. VR is very personal. We have to bring the camera in their house, in where they're trained, and in their school. So we need to get a lot of permit, and we need to first, well, before we even advise, we get the permit, we get like all this handle out because VR camera, you capture everything. So if you're in the venue, like in Abu Dhabi, in UAE, is a huge issue. So you can't capture people faces for religion reasons. So when we're in UAE, we have to be very, very careful where we put the camera and who is around it. We need to have like PA local staff to block the area to make sure that people not go in there. If they go in there, they have to be filming on cameras. So yeah, it's a lot involved technically, and also like personal relationship wise, we need to talk to the family for an hour to get their background story, and then turn the camera on. When we turn the camera on, so we gotta make sure that we capture something, because also VR, we film professional camera. So back then we filmed with the camera called Kenta Obsidian, and Insta360 Pro 2, there's no Titan yet. But again, that camera generated a lot of like data for each card. So when we turn the camera on, we gotta make sure that we gotta get something that we need for our documentary. And then we gotta film it. And we are not wasting any take, especially we gotta do the post on spot. So that's a challenging as well. But I can talk all day on that project too. So
let's give a shout out to Jonathan Winbush. Morning, Jonathan. He's saying morning to Sophia. Nice to see you join us, Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan, I put your logo on my video.
And Priscilla Alvarez. Hi back. I'm in Montreal right now, and Hugh's in LA. So that's the beauty of connecting virtually in this time. We can connect from all over the world. So there's something that I'd like you to explain to everyone that they might not be aware of. When you're going into stereo, and you love high res, so for you, you don't want 2K, you want like 6K, 8K stereo.
Yes.
What are the challenges behind that? Because you are full on stereo. That's it. Your productions are, for the most part, I believe, done
stereo and mono. So I reverse. I start with stereo 360 in 6K, and then unfortunately, I mean, I'm learning as well from my audience, from YouTube, for what people want, what people not from this industry want. They actually don't want stereo. Funny thing is, they want mono. They want something they watch on their phone. So now I also do monoscopic production. But my heavy hitter is mostly you need to watch in a VR headset with a left-right eye disparity to see depth. I think that should be the VR. If you are in 360, if you like just bought a GoPro Max, install One R. I hope eventually from my channel, from my education, it will move you to the place that you're actually using this technology to tell your story, and try VR, try like stereo as well to tell the story, and even better like vocabs coming out, like volumetric capture. You can capture entire talent into the mega stage in Microsoft and bring it into VR environment. People like Jonathan, like you can bring Unreal Engine into live capture, into a story, build up together into a bigger project. So I think that our technology is just in the infant stage right now. What I'm doing is a baby step. I'm filming stereoscopic, but that is, I mean, it might sound cool right now, but it's not cool actually anymore. Like in the industry, there's so many new tech coming out that you can bring your piece to the next level. Then I see some crazy vocab piece, like experience that just blow my mind. So I wouldn't say that stereo is a thing, but I mean, if you're making VR at 2020, you want to bring that into festival, you want to like bring it into a trade show, I think like you should at least try to make stereoscopic if you can.
Yeah, well, for me, I think the step from flat to 360 media is like a huge mind shift, because as you said, it's a whole different approach to storytelling and communicating. Yes. So I think just that step opens up a whole world of possibilities that we're seeing now with the merging of all these different technologies coming together, as you mentioned. So it's yes. So for the creator, I think you have to open up the mind space to literally to it's capturing the world around you instead of the world in front of you.
Yeah, that's actually a good topic, like a segue to. Recently, I launched a series called 360 VR Filmmaking. I think that that's absolutely correct. VR is a new media. We open up the world around us. It brings us opportunity, but also like have constraint. Like when people have this, like when people get rid of their frame, they don't know what to do, and they usually just do a pretty bad job. Especially when you get a consumer 360 camera at 1x, you just go around and film everything, right? That is, well, if you want to create an audience, like what I'm trying to do, I try to create an audience on Oculus TV or Samsung VR. If you want to create a storytelling, you do need to stick to the traditional filmmaking rule. Those still apply. Like whatever you learn from film school or from film YouTube channel, or from film tutorial, the old school stuff, the 2D stuff, like right here, like DSLR with a Blackmagic 6K, stuff like this still apply in VR filmmaking, because VR filmmaking and VR storytelling is an art. I mean, you can get technical, but it's not designed for technologists. It's designed for artists like us to tell our story. So don't get like hung up on the technical part, the stereo part, the mono part. Doesn't matter. Like, who cares about mono and stereo? If you have a great story, you have a great story, and you will win so many awards, and you will be discovered. Like example, YouTube. Like talk about 2D world. Like the biggest creator. I mean, they're just a really good storyteller. They're not DP or camera technician or programmer. I mean, they're just really good at telling story. And their video might look bad, like PewDiePie. I mean, this video look great. No, not really, but it's funny. We watch it. So my point is like at this stage, as an artist, you should focus on the art before the tech.
I agree.
Tech should come second.
I agree.
So that's my point. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think that anyone who's working in the arts is in it because of their heart. And putting your passion into it, that you need to be passionate about it to put in the time necessary. So I want to move on to the next topic. Is you travel around the world and do a lot of travel VR. We see you posting your little planets from all over the world: South America, Hawaii, Asia, you're all over the place. But there's one project that you're working on that's close to your heart called Forest Connection. So I'd like to play a clip right now that gives a bit of an overview of that. And it's before we go in, can you just give us a quick idea of where it is and what the purpose of it is?
Yeah, so it's in the OSA conservation in Costa Rica. It's not a travel season, but you can't go there to travel. It's a conservation. Bonagio, a lot of organization actually go there, a World Bank go there to film documentary, but never been done in VR. So we have a VR project. So they have a problem there. That is doing the big fire in Brazil. Poacher and illegal logging is a big issue in Southern America, especially in Costa Rica and in Brazil, obviously. So people don't realize that, like, the reason causing the big fire, the reason causing like endangered species, it's all man-made, and we just need education and tool to help the local ranger to protect the rainforest, and then we can reduce the loss of forests and the endangered species. So the whole piece idea is to document how technology used by local ranger. We actually use AI technology for local ranger to identify the threat when poaching happen or illegal logging happen. Sometimes illegal logging, the people might have machine gun, might AK-47. You don't know what they have, and ranger usually don't have like heavy equipment. They're all low-paid government employee, right? So they every time they go out, they put their life in danger, and that's real, like really real in that country. In order to help them, to protect them, give them information that before they even go out is so important. If they know that those people have like freaking gun and like tank and stuff, not tank, I mean like heavy equipment, you have to well equip the local ranger to go out there to do their job.
So we're gonna take a look at that now.
Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? Right now, I am in the middle of the jungle in Costa Rica, and we are gonna do a very, very technical shot right here. In front of me, this is a giant tree. It's 30 meters tall, and we're gonna film the talent go all the way up and install the equipment all the way up in the top. In order to do that, we're going to capture that in 11K 360 in 3D. So we're using this camera, the Insta Titan, Sebastian installing right now, and the light. And in order to do that, we need a pole can go high. So we have this very special pole called the Nodo Ninja Pole 2, can go up to 9 meters. We're going to shoot the Titan all the way in the middle of the section, so we can capture the talent from all the way from the bottom of the tree, climb all the way up the top of the tree in 35 meters. And also we have the Insta Pro 2 and the Insta 1X. We got jerry rig those camera on top of the tree with equipment like this, so we can capture the top motion as well. And we also have a drone. We're gonna fly and track the talent all the way up as well. So it's a very technical shot, and you will see some footage up there while Sebastian installing the equipment there.
Wow, that's so we see you're in the jungle in Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere to plug your charger in for your drone.
Yeah, that project is we shot the Titan. Titan in the forest, in the jungle, they have no electricity. So we need to use solar power to charge it. We need daylight to charge it because when sun goes down, power is out. It's a crazy project. It's so wet, it's raining all the time. We have this like little plastic bag around our big giant camera whenever it starts raining. It was a nightmare. It's the most technical, difficult project I ever done in my life. There's so many things we haven't think about. The humidity, the animal, the bug to get into your camera. There's leeches. If you step on the wrong feet, there's like there's stuff in your shoes. It just it's a fun project. I'm gonna tell you, it's so hard. It is really hard.
Yeah, but it seems like a project that you really wanted to work on, though, for the good that it's going to deliver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I don't think it's ever been done. So it's good.
And what did you? So you were saying that what you had a tripod that was 9 meters with a camera on the top. I mean, what could go wrong, right? It's like, did you?
Nodo Ninja Pro 3.
Did you have anything go wrong that you figured out how to do on the fly, or was that just like part of the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. I think part of that. I think one requirement for DP in VR is not like traditional DP. Is that DP better be super technical as well. Like me and Sebastian is a very technical person. We first, before we go on set, like before we fly to Costa Rica, we do 2-day tests of the camera to know every little bug the camera have. Titan, let's be honest, a lot of bug. It flows on set, yes, it's gonna happen. You need to know how to do with it. You need to know the air code. You need to know what SD card you're using, and you have to have backup SD cards. Anything fail, you need to have backup camera. We have 3 backup camera. We have a Kandar Obsidian and Pro 2. If the Titan fail, we're gonna swap the camera immediately, so nobody's waiting. So yeah, it go wrong all the time. Power run out. Yeah, I can go all day.
But you know what? But
project.
at the end of the day, though, all people see is the finished project. So we should put a link below.
Exactly.
So once it's done, people can link and see what an amazing job you and your crew did together to pull that off. So I just want to give a shout out also to Gary Liu. He's saying he's back to your point about art. Technology should serve the art of things.
Gary.
Definitely, we agree with that. And hi again to Jonathan, Jonathan Winbush. So you've worked together on projects with him, and of course Alexandre. So let's move on to another kind of work that you do. So you have something coming up for Oculus. Can you tell me about that project?
So I do a lot of feel-good project, non-profit, NGO stuff, but this is my personal project. I'm also really big into the EDM, the dubstep, rhythm world. Know a lot of musicians and artists in local Los Angeles. So we partner up with Los Angeles studio school in Los Angeles, the dancer there and the DJ, underground DJ, to make a VR experience in 60 frames per second. So this project shot in 6K by 6K, 60 frames per second. And it actually used a lot of Mettle plugin to make it look good. And now it's on Oculus TV. And I really want to show this project to see the possibility to make 60 frames per second. It looks so good on the headset. So when you see 60 frames, I mean, I don't think you want to go better 30 frame. So yeah, we can play the trailer and they can see it.
Yeah, let's take a look at it now. Okay, we're back. So you said that you shot this in 60 frames. So what do you think, why is it so important for you? 60, we've had this discussion before, 60 frames versus 30 frames. What's the difference?
Yeah. So at the end of the video, you actually see the reframe video is the actual 6K by 6K stereo reframe of the footage. So there's a challenge to make 60 frames per second video. You make 60 frames per second, you lose resolution. So actually, I recommend everybody to go watch it in Oculus TV now on the Oculus Quest. So just this one because you see through black. And then see the resolution compared to any 30 frames per second content. So it's a battle in right now current technology. You need to choose, right? You choose 60 frames per second, you see a really smooth motion when people are moving and less to feel motion sickness. But at the same time, you lose resolution. So this thing will look a little bit more pixels. So I feel like that at this point, I think that it's probably more important for people to not get motion sickness, frame blending, and see smooth motion than actually see a really high resolution video in stereo. Especially for people who never watch VR. Like a lot of my other friends, they're all in the dance world or the music video world. They're so used to high frame rate video, like video game high school, for example, right? High frame rate, especially on the headset. Their common feedback is like, when I watch a VR video on a VR headset, it just makes me sick. Why? Because I see this mirror effect, we see this like glitter. It just feel like that the frame rate is not right. Because most content is 30 frames per second, and people used to watch 24 frames per second on a 2D screen. But in VR, everybody play game, play 60 frames, 90 frames, 120 frames. So that's why I think frame rate is actually very important for storytelling, for a really good like feeling when you're watching a VR content, especially for people that's new to VR, for anything with action involved, like driving a car, jumping off the airplane, or dancing at this scenario.
Okay, we have a question from Alexandre. He's asking, so you're doing 3D 60 frames a second. He's curious about the max res that you're going to get in the Quest.
So that is a bigger question. So in the Quest, actually we don't know. We're testing. Like local silo, you can get actually not a standard square format. You can get a long format using video strip and the Karma codec. Eric Chen can go deep into that to play a higher resolution in 60 frames per second. But there's a new thing coming up. I think it's Visbit pushing it, and you can transcode 6K by 6K in 60 frames using FOV render to play full 6K by 6K in 60 frames per second local playback. It's pretty crazy stuff. So new technology is coming in your headset. You're not upgrading headset, upgrading software to actually watch higher resolution, breaking the limit in Oculus to enjoy 60 frames per second. So I think that will be the next trend this year or next year to create high frame rate stereoscopic content, even like putting 6-stop experience into headset and really bridge between the cinematic passive world into the agency world, which is like game engine world, and then bridge that bridge together. I think the first thing you need to match is the frame rate. 30 frame match 60 frames is not going to work. But if you have filming in 60 frame to match a 60 frame, at least for game engine development and for integration, it will be easier to make it happen.
Cool.
So I think that's why it's so.
So we're coming up to the end of our live stream. So I just want to say, so now a lot of people are staying at home, and I encourage you to go visit CreatorUp YouTube channel, where Hugh's busy making more videos while he's under his stay at home instead of traveling around the world right now. So what should people start with on your YouTube channel? What would be a good thing to be looking at right now?
So if you are learning, I would suggest to go watch my 360 VR filmmaking tutorial, which recently released, to me talk about how to apply basic filming principle like framing, script writing, storytelling into VR as a medium, and how to adapt your like storyboard. Like for example, storyboard, like how you adapt a VR storyboard, traditional storyboard into VR. So we talk about it on that series. Episode 1 is already out about framing, so I would highly recommend to watch that. That's pretty brand new. I use a like real project like Special Olympic. I use Costa Rica. I use like a Vegas project to illustrate my thought process, my production technique to use on a real project with camera like Titan and Zcam K1 D1 Pro or K1 Pro, something like that. If you are into watching content, I would highly recommend watching my Chinese piece, which also released Shot on Cool Cam 8K, the dance piece, and a lot of my travel stuff. And that's mostly what I do.
So
I have a new one coming out. It's pretty big. Yeah, go ahead.
We'll put some links in the comments below. And quickly, I want to give a shout out to Robert Hansen. Hello. And to and to Fabio. Hey there. Nice to see you joining us. Yeah. And Robert Hansen has a question for you. Has anyone used Gigapixel to uplift to 6 or 8K?
Gigapixel AI? Does that mean AI?
Robert, can you clarify your question, please? So while we're waiting for him to get back to that, so let's say someone has been following your channel. It's like, what is next for you? Like, what is driving your passion to create more? So this is a special time right now. So even like the lockdown will lift in 2 weeks. I think people are still really skeptical in travel, and they should, because it's very dangerous. Not many places like US have a really good like control of the virus. I mean, it's not in control. So I think the travel industry, we've got to postly rely on virtual. So I think my next thing is I want to focus back what like originally get me started, which is travel VR content. But instead of just music and sounds, so what I usually do is just episodic sound and video. But I want to add story in it. I want to have a narrator. I want to have a guide, virtual guide, to bring people onto a journey that I'm going to. Another thing different from me and AL Panel and other people provide like VR traveling is my stuff is
focus on more story, more background, more history of the places we're going to. So a new piece I'm working on, actually, I'm trying to like tell you guys, is about Abu Dhabi, about a really strange city, but it's really modern, but have a lot of history, but people usually really ignore. We got really lucky to film in that country because it's not allowed to film there because of the religion. But we lucky enough to have the king permission and film there. So I'm really excited to present that piece in stereoscopic 8K on Oculus. It's coming out soon. And then also I want to focus more on my music career, the dance content. I'm a DJ myself, so hopefully I can release some original music videos. I can't tell it under NDA. I just work with a really big artist. One is in EDM world, one is in hip hop world.
Very cool.
It's a collab. Yeah, VR 180 is coming out on Oculus as well.
Amazing. So yeah, Robert Hansen, yeah, he wanted to know about gigapixel AI for to upconvert to 6K
yeah,
or 8K.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
By Topaz. I try it. It's not working. I actually working a piece not with NASA, but kind of connect to the space and NASA program. We're upscaling a project into 4K from 2K source. We tried that. It's not working as we expect. At least on our piece overview effects we are working on with NASA footage on the Earth. We upscale the footage. We see clearly artifacts. That again. So understand what is AI. AI is basically using all your footage in the computer, feed to it, learn it, and then upscale it based on whatever they learn. So it's really limited. I mean, if you're making like travel content, if you're making just like basic content and people have footage on internet and research, the upscaling, yes. But in VR, there's not many VR footage feed to the engine to learn about it, to upscale it. So when they upscale VR footage, it's all kind of weird distortion, artifacts, noise that is not predictable by the software. Topaz is a great company for 2D image and 2D videos. AI, it's just not enough sample for them to research yet. So I don't think it's ready yet. You can try it and prove me I'm wrong. But I try it. Honestly, I try it with an actual view project and we decided not using it.
So Robert has another question. Would this be 4K or 5.6K 360 to 6K or 8K?
Which one?
So when you're upscaling, are you upscaling? He's asking you if it's from 4K or 5.6. Yeah.
It's from 2K to 4K.
Okay.
It's actually basic within their limit. We want to try to push. Well, again, has the delivery in VR 180 is 4K per eyes. That's to get us 8K, right? So it's not working. It's not because of resolution not working.
Okay.
It's about pixel accuracy calculation is not working. Because they need to create pixel for you. So that's what AI upscaling is. If they can't create the correct pixel, your footage is not going to work.
Okay. So we're going to wrap things up on that note. Thanks a lot, Hugh, for joining us today. And thank you, everyone who left the comments and who liked this stream. Stay safe. And thank you very much, Hugh. And we'll be looking for your work, and we'll put links in the comments below to all of the things that we talked about during this live stream. Take care.
Great. Bye, guys.